Welcome everybody. So if you're joining me for this short video today, like I said, welcome. My name is Ashley. I'm the Executive Director of Yoga for a Mindful Midwest here in Springfield, Illinois, and a co-owner and instructor at Flow Midwest Yoga and Meditation. And I thought it would be a great idea to put some videos together for educators, administrative staff, etc., as well as students, to kind of to ring out the end of what has many times been kind of a stressful school year. So each video will be 15 minutes, and this is one of the adult videos. So this is for your teacher, your staff, your administration, etc. Today we will cover some material that can be done sitting on the ground on a cushion like I am, that can be done on a blanket, but I also place the chair out just because you can totally do this at a desk, or you can do it at a table, as long as you have a seat where you feel secure, kind of relaxed, but also at least a little alert, okay? So if you are not familiar with mindfulness, it can be great for stress reduction, and we will be specifically working on techniques that fall under something called mindfulness-based stress reduction. Now, sometimes mindfulness can trigger folks, and in that case, I would just say, take a break, take a deep breath, walk away from it, or maybe don't worry about it, okay? But hopefully what I'm able to share with you in these short videos will give you a little extra to have in your toolbox as far as stress reduction goes, okay? And what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is just paying attention to what's happening while it's happening. So there's kind of a focus element, but you're doing so with a loving heart and sans judgment. And that's sort of where the challenge comes in for folks, okay? So these are some of my favorite techniques. They're things that are easily accessible that I use sometimes on a daily basis, depending on what's going on, all right? The first one I want to talk about is probably the most accessible, at least in my opinion, and it's one you can do at almost at any point of any day. And it's just called stop. It's the stop practice. So stop, S-T-O-P, and what this means, what this stands for, is your S means whatever you're doing right now, stop. T, take a deep breath. O, observe. Just observe your surroundings, left, right, up, down. Observe how you feel internally. And then the P is for proceed. So proceed about whatever you were doing, or on to the next thing. You can use this whenever you need it. So if you're having one of those moments where you feel overwhelmed, or where settling into your space just physically feels borderline impossible, go back to that stop. Stop, take a breath, observe, proceed. All right? So now that little informal practice that you can always sort of have in your back pocket is out of the way, I'd like you to, if you haven't yet, to determine what sort of seat you'd like to take. So again, I'd like it to be upright but not uptight. So if you want to even sit against a wall, you're more than welcome, okay? I have some support under my seat so that my hips and pelvis really do feel that support, and there's a little tilt forward so that I almost can't help but not stay out of my low back or sitting on my low back. So experiment if you need to, right? Try a chair, try a blanket. You don't have to have your legs crossed. I just want you to find a comfortable seat. So we are going to do something called a mindful check-in right now. So when folks ask you to sort of check in and notice how you feel, this is a guided, super brief, about 3 minutes way to check in with yourself and your surroundings. Definitely adding on to that stop practice, but can be done aside from it. I like to start a lot of my, whether they're meditation classes, mindfulness-based stress reduction classes, or yoga classes, with a mindful check-in. And all it requires is a comfortable seat to where you can be semi-alert. If at any point a seat doesn't feel like it's quite right for your body, go ahead and lay down. So make sure that those shoulders are sort of dropped far away from your ears right now. Check your neck a little. Find a place where you can let the hands rest heavy and held. So we store tension in all just different parts of our bodies, right? But the hands, sometimes we're clenching and we don't even realize it. So I like my hands to just come down somewhere towards my lap, closer to my knees. And I'm palms face up. You do whatever feels most naturally. Just make sure you're not clenching or gripping. Let the fingers kind of go floppy. Again, let your shoulders relax down. And if it feels okay and safe for you, close the eyes down. And just take a moment here and try to get still. So that might be a great feat for you. Definitely notice what it feels like in your body when you try to get still. And then congratulate yourself for taking time to work on yourself. So just start it off by thanking you. And we're going to begin this mindful check-in by feeling into the body and mind and simply allowing any waves of thought, emotion, or physical sensation to just be. So it's the epitome of it is what it is. Whatever's going on right now, inside, outside, daily life, last 10 years, tomorrow, whatever it is, let those things just kind of settle around you. And don't try to change anything, just notice. There's no need here to judge, analyze, or figure anything out. As you begin to enter the world of being rather than constantly doing, or most of the time doing, you might just notice the trajectory of feelings you've been carrying within yourself. Remind yourself it's okay, whatever it is or it isn't. Once again, the magic A word, allow. Just allow yourself to be in the here and the now amidst everything that's present in each next moment. And we're going to spend a couple minutes really practicing embracing this idea of whatever we notice next, it is what it is, let it be what it is. Can we move on? Can we be with it? So again, eyes closed, chest lifted a little, low back safe. Maybe notice sense stores too. What are you hearing right now? Tasting, smelling. What's it look like behind closed eyes? How do you feel emotionally right now? So as we come to the end of our mindful check-in, once again, congratulate yourself for taking time for you. Know that this practice does directly contribute to your health and your well-being. And when you're ready, if they are still closed, blink your eyes open. If you need to soften anywhere or kind of slouch on purpose, go for it. And just take a second, right? Just notice how you feel. Sometimes when folks ask us to check in and sort of just, hey, what's going on? How do you feel right now? Sometimes it's just inaccessible. We don't know. We don't have answers. We don't know where to begin. Or things are just moving too fast that we feel like we feel like we're drowning, or we feel like I don't even know where would I start? I don't have time for this. Mindful check-in is a great place to help you sort of, again, stop, but then sort of make contact with the earth and notice what you notice about being alive here. All right, so the last thing I want to cover today in this video with you is a quick 4 or 5 minute breathing exercise. All right. Now, once again, it can be done on your seat, just like I'm doing here. Also, I've noticed if you're not familiar with breathing exercises, or it's a day where you feel sort of unsteady, nervous, I would invite you to lie on your back, lay down on the ground, and get comfortable. And that's what I'd like you to do right now. I'd like you, when you're ready, to find a position to where it's easier for you to pay attention to your breath, okay? And go easy on yourself. That's sort of what these little sessions are about. It's not about doing it right. It's not about, acing your rest. It's about giving yourself a moment to just kind of catch up to yourself. Now, once again, I'd like you to take a few moments here to try to get still again. Sometimes it takes quite a bit of effort, right? So if you need to kind of wiggle the neck and the shoulders, or sort of shrug them out or roll them out a little bit, you might need to kind of fidget at the legs or near the hips. But make sure wherever you are right now, however you are, you can find a little bit of settle down, a little bit of release. And then once again, congratulate yourself for taking this time for you. If it feels okay, close down the eyes again. And then I want you to bring your awareness to your breath wherever you feel it most distinctly in your body right now. Maybe it's the face. Maybe you were holding it like I was. You might need to take a deep breath just to sort of clear the way and establish where you feel it. Could be the ribs, the belly, the back, right? Upper back, shoulders, low back. As you breathe in normally and naturally, right? Just be aware of breathing in. And as you breathe out, be aware of breathing out. So this means you're bringing extra attention to your inhalation and exhalation. So what that might look like on me, even, right, we can't see through you, but for me, it would be eyes closed, right? My inhale, my belly would expand a little bit. My chest might even lift a little. And when I exhale, things sort of settle, contract, right? And they lower down. It might be way more subtle for you, but just notice breathing in, what's that feel like? Breathing out, what's that feel like? Simply maintain this awareness of your breath, just breathing in and breathing out. You might even say to yourself, in, out. There's no need to try to visualize or count or figure out the breath. You're just being mindful of breathing in and out. Without judgment, just watch the breath ebb and flow like waves in a sea. Tell yourself there's no place to go and there's nothing else to do right now. You just want to be here and now, noticing the breath. Think of it like you're just living life one inhalation and one exhalation at a time. As you breathe in and out, be mindful of the breath rising on the inhalation and falling on the exhalation. Sort of just riding the waves of the breath, moment by moment. Again, all it is breathing in and breathing out. From time to time, attention may wander from the breath. Completely natural. When you notice that, simply acknowledge where you went, or if you left at all, and gently bring your attention back to a breath, even if that means taking another one of those deep breaths. Breathing normally and naturally without manipulating the breath in any way. Just be aware of the breath as it comes in and as it leaves the body. Remember, your body's going to breathe you one way or the other. You're just really focusing in on how it's doing so and maybe helping it along a bit. Again, if you leave or a thought pulls you away, use the breath to come back. And maybe you just notice hands at lap or hands against the ground. Maybe there is a little tension in the body or soreness and you notice that. Maybe you've caught yourself clenching your jaw. Maybe it feels like for once there's a little extra space. So as we come to the end of this meditation, I'd like you, yet again, to congratulate or thank yourself for taking time to be present, realizing that it's an act of love, and maybe even say silently to yourself here, may I be at peace. May we all be at peace. And when you're ready, gently blink the eyes opened if they're still closed. Notice how you feel. Check your neck and shoulders. And just remind yourself that mindfulness is really just taking advantage of the things that are already here and now, right? You're using them to sort of anchor yourself in the present moment, to remind yourself that most of the time, I would say the majority of the time, if you are living in the present moment, you're okay. Things are okay. Feel free to revisit this practice as often as you'd like. And thank you very much.